Your Agile key number 5 is include the Agile mindset. I had that epiphany over the weekend in that low point of my career. Luckily, I didn't get into alcoholism. I actually read the other Agile Manifesto instead. I focused again on that one first value that Michael highlighted earlier in the course, right at the beginning. And that is, if you scintillate it down and you bring the Agile Manifesto down to its essence, you're really finding that it's people over process. And that's actually how I led all the time. That's how I became a Gap store manager. That's how I led an e-commerce implementation that was featured in the Globe and Mail, much to my surprise. That's how I was recruited into IBM. That's how I was recruited into, like, the list goes on. Really all I'm doing as a leader is I'm really listening and connecting with the people. And when I'm connecting with the people, I'm actually using these foundations, or this foundational aspect of the playbook as my guideposts. This is inherently how I operate as a leader. So this is really all about being a compassionate, patient, psychologically safe, looking at equal voice, really embracing people as who they are and accepting them as a whole. And when you do something like that, you're really embracing the concept in the Agile mindset as opposed to just doing. My deviation, which I realized that weekend when I reread the Agile Manifesto, was I instead clung to the process. And clinging to the process really is doing Agile. And there's no doubt, there is a doing part to Agile. But you as a leader need to include the Agile mindset. And what's really important is that you've got to escalate or elevate the mindset before you can start to escalate and elevate the process that matches up to it. I think the best way I could probably suggest this as an example or a metaphor is if anybody here is a photographer or a budding photographer or understands photography, or someone here is a budding chef or baker. If you start to look at how they operate as a photographer or a chef or whatever master of their craft, if you look at the photography and you say, well, what film did you use, or what camera did you use? What settings did you use for this picture? What shutter speed, what aperture, what LUT did you use when you processed it in Photoshop? You can ask all these questions, and you know what? A professional photographer can give you all these numbers. But once you put all these numbers into the computer and you start running into all these pictures, I can guarantee you the pictures are not going to turn out the way that you want to. And the reason for that is the photographer is approaching photography with a specific mindset. They're looking for story. They're looking for flow. They're looking for balance. And that's the stuff that's the mindset. That's the stuff that you can't fix. So when you're bringing Scrum into the space, if you're not bringing it into the mindset first, then you're causing a lot of dissension and challenge. We had talked about the evolution of high performance. And with this, it's a very important concept, is that this is really the new way of working. And if you want to bring in the new way of working, like a seed in an environment, you can't plant seeds into concrete. You can't use this lower consciousness thinking to actually help a higher consciousness way of working to thrive. And so you as a leader have to work to create this organizational environment that allows the culture to thrive, so that way when you plant the seeds of these new way of working, whether it be lean, DevOps, digital, agile, this stuff will thrive. And then this actually enables and empowers your organization to survive and in fact actually thrive in a VUCA world. So working with the mindset first, not just doing Agile, is one of our keys.